Thank you very much. First of all, it's actually good afternoon now. So good afternoon to all the professor, associate professor, doctor, and all the everyone who's here. And I'll try to run very quick. Hopefully can stay within the time limit of 20 minutes so that we can finish the other two and then we can go for lunch. Hopefully, I don't have any question then. So I'll be presenting about the model of managing MVU Investment PLC in Cambodia. This is a little bit different from all the other company we have heard during the morning. So this one is a fund management company, one among the capital market in Cambodia. So I'll be covering three chapters as other candidates were doing as well. So we'll be going through the background and also the objective of the study, then quickly go through the data collection process, but then we'll be focusing on the management model itself, as well as the recommendation and the future expectation. So as an introduction, a company like MVU Investment in Cambodia. So we are running as a funds management company, and this what we are doing is actually mobilizing the resource from the public and then invest into the different business. So this kind of company is actually very important to the economy of the country, to the growth of the economy, especially for Cambodia as a developing country. And because in Cambodia, the capital market is quite new. So for us managing this company as a fund management company, and not just the capital market itself, but also as a fund management company in the collective investment scheme, it's very new to the market. So we go through a lot of challenge and also a lot of learning that we have taken from this process as well. So this study, we will be looking at providing academic insight for investment in emerging market, and also would provide some practical guidance to all the different stakeholders in this business, but also would kind of like providing this informing to the public policy maker on some kind of change or some kind of improvement that they can make to ensure a favorable and sustainable investment climate in the country. For the objective, we will be analyzing the governance, the strategic management, financial performance, and overall management models for the business. For the method that I did during for these studies is all qualitative design, including some semi-structured interview, the analysis of the documentations, observations, and also survey with stakeholders, including employees. For the benefit of this study, so besides understanding about this even better for myself, I also hope that this study can provide some value insight to the other scholars, and also providing some practical experience and practical guidance to other practitioners, to policymakers, and also to the investor for the market like Cambodia. And also, we would be also highlighting how MVUI integrates the corporate governance, the strategy, the risk management, and also corporate social responsibility into our operations. For academic, in terms of academic, I hope that this study would be able to provide more understanding about investment practice in countries like Cambodia in Southeast Asia. While also policymakers can also use the finding from this study to guide their regulatory improvement. And also for investor, hopefully that this study can provide them some contextual knowledge to support their decision making for sustainable market engagement. So to start with, I would just give some of the background about the about the capital market in Cambodia. So capital market in Cambodia is actually governed by a regulatory body called Security and Exchange Regulator of Cambodia, abbreviation as SERC, which was established in 2007. Then when we talk about security market, when we talk about capital market, everyone talk about the security, of course, the CSA Cambodia Security Exchange, which is a platform for trading all the security stocks, including bond, including equity. This company or this platform was actually established in 2010 as the joint venture between Ministry of Economy and Finance, the government body, and international company from Korea, Cambodia and Korea Exchange. So using the experience from other country to help setting up this platform in Cambodia. And specifically for regulatory body or regulation related to MVU investment is what we call collective investment scheme, which was I think it's among the latest one regulated by the Security and Exchange Regulator. There was a broadcast in 2018 about licensing the collective investment scheme business. So they spell out all the stakeholder or the firm that need to be involved in this collective investment scheme. And then until 2023, there's a broadcast on issue and about the funds unit of collective investment scheme. So we can say that by 2023, all the regulations are in place for the operating of business like us as a collective investment scheme. Although the broadcast on licensing the business was actually in 2018, there was no real kind of like framework or real process for us as a firm to set up the fund unit itself. And then moving to the second chapter in my document, by the way, that's detailed in the document, Word document itself, but this one is very, very much kind of like high level. So first, I will be covering about the background of MVU. The company was actually incorporated as a PLC with the Ministry of Economy and with the Ministry of Commerce in 2018, and the company was actually founded by groups of graduates from Maharishi Vedi University. So yes, as an alumni from the university, we come together and set up this company. Our vision is to become a dynamic investment platform for sustainable economic growth. And our mission is to deliver investment with impact and return to both investee and investors through the fund mobilizations. And also, although the company was set up in 2018, we only get the license from SEOC as a proper fund management company in 2023. So in May 23, we got the license as three. So we got the license as a funds management company, meaning that we can set up the fund and then manage the fund. We also get the license or get the approval from SEOC as a fund distribution company, meaning that we can distribute the fund unit that's set up by the funds management company to the public to mobilize the fund into, to mobilize the investment into the funds. We are also authorized as a fund administration company who would be acting as the administrator for the fund set up by the funds management company, and also which is distributed by the fund distribution company to the public. For stakeholder involved for a collective investment scheme in Cambodia to be able to operate, there's another company that is required, which is called trustee. But because trustee has to be independent from the funds management company, MVUI decided not to apply for that license because we would not be able to provide service to our own fund anyway. So we only apply for 3 license or 3 approval related to this, but then we will use the trustee service from a third party just to ensure the independence between the two. This is our organizational structure from high level. So we have, as can be seen from this structure, we focus very much on a corporate governance. So we have a separate advisory board. We also have a board of directors, which is common for any company. And also as we work on fund management, we also have 3 board committees that are very important for our operations. So number 1 is investment committee. This committee is the key and is the one who approve on any investment made in our company. So the management team would source for project, would do the assessment, due diligence, and then it would be review if it should go through to the investment committee or not. But then if they decide to move ahead, then they would go to the investment committee for the approval. Also, I stated in the document, the investment committee not just approve the final project, but they would also be reviewing the project before we engage into detailed analysis, just to save time from both the company that we are looking to invest, as well as from our MVU management as well. Then we also have other two committee, the audit and risk committee, which as the name calls, so they look at the internal control, risk management of the company. Then we have the third committee from the board as well, which is the HR committee called Nomination and Remuneration Committee. This committee is to ensure the fairness in how the remuneration and also appointment of people involved are done, including appointment of the different board committee members as well. And from the operation, we only have small team, so and all of these roles are actually required by the regulator itself. So we have the CEO who's approved by the regulators as well. We also have the head of operation, which is again approved by the regulator, the compliance officer, and also the head of finance. So the head of finance is actually acting in two roles as the head of finance for the company, doing all the internal funds, doing the internal management of the account, financial management, all of that. But she is also acting as the fund representative for whichever fund that the company would be set up and distributed to the public. And underneath that, we also have an investment officer whose role, where as the name suggested, he is responsible for sourcing the project, doing the analysis, due diligence, and also monitoring of the portfolio company we invested in. But also from the regulatory point of view, he is also an authorized fund selling rep. So this person is under the fund distribution company who can distribute the fund to the public once the fund is set up. Without that qualification approval from the SEOC, the person would not be able to sell the fund unit to the public. And we also have another person called she is kind of more a finance officer. Besides the internal role as a finance officer, she also have the role from the regulatory point of view as the fund accountant. So this role is actually under the funds administration company, the one who keep record of all the fund unit and who's holding which unit, and then all of the kind of like the redemptions, the subscription, and also the review of NAV, the net asset value of the fund itself. Our product and service are quite simple. As a fund management company, our job is to mobilize the fund from the public and then invest into the company. So the product here is more focusing on what we can do to invest into the SME or to the business out there. So straightforward equity investment. So this is an investment from the fund or from us as the fund management company into the portfolio company as equity, meaning we put the money in and then we hold a percentage of share in that company. So for this kind of product, we tend to focus on minority share to ensure that the founding share member or the team who manage the operation still have the majority stake and still motivate to run the business to the level that we are hoping for. But as one of the requirements, when we put investment as equity investment, we would require at least one board seat in the board of directors to ensure the corporate governance and also to ensure the overall management of the company, meeting what we are looking for as well, or those we don't involve in their daily operations. The second product, which is, to be fair, right now, this is the most focus from asset under our management is what we call guaranteed fixed return investment. So this one is kind of like it. Technically, it's almost like a debt investment. So it's a debt investment we put into the company, but for regulatory kind of like compliance, we call it a little bit we call it a little bit different in name. So for our understanding, it's just kind of like just understand it as a debt investment to the company. And this product is very much kind of like interested to the SB because a lot of business here, they don't want to dilute their shareholding. So we need to kind of like structure out an investment that kind of like meet their requirement. They want investment in, they don't mind be involved in their operation to some extent that we kind of like we need to do, but they just don't want to dilute the share. And that's the reason why we come up with this product. The third product, this one is more kind of like project finance. So this one is not financing for the whole company, but we are looking at specific project. So an example, a company A may kind of like put a bidding and then they win that bid. Then they would need additional financing to support the completion of that project. So we analyze that project specifically about the margin of the project and also about the possibility of completion, the risk that the project might not be completed, and also the collection of repayment from collection of payment from the client, so on. So we analyze all of that, and then we would finance a certain percentage of the project and hoping for a share profit from the company itself. And then the last service that we have on in our company is called financial advisory service. So originally, this fourth service is not it's not kind of intended for the business, but because we see the challenge faced by a lot of business here, that they are not ready for capital investment from other company, especially as a funds management company. They might be ready for investment from their friends and their relative, but not from a completely not related company like us. So then we decided to come up with this kind of service that we would be able to help the company to either do the fundraising or prepare themselves to be ready for investment, either from us later on or from other source that we might be able to help them to fund. Okay, so from after all the studies, I come up with with this model. So the business is run, and then we think that this 9 model is the one who contributed to the current development of the business, the success of the business itself. Number 1 is good corporate governance. Number 2 is stakeholder engagement, because a business like us, stakeholder engagement is very key. But to be fair, stakeholder engagement is key and is very important to any type of business. And then the third one is about adaptation of technology innovations. Number 4 is ethical conduct. Number 5 is about partnership. Number 6 is sustainability practice. Number 7, compliance and risk management. Number 8 is about adaptability of the product and service to the market. And then the last one is about leadership and management and human resource management. So I'll go into a bit of detail for each of that. So good corporate governance, we focus on transparency. So we have clear organizational structure. We have clear segregation of duty. The director, the investment committee, the HR committee, and also the people at the management level, there's clear structure, and then who's doing what. Also, we have clear policy and process in place that are not just kind of like in place, but we also have a regular review of the process and the policy to ensure that it stay updated and it stay relevant to the market that we are operating. Accountability. So although the company is very, very small, our balance sheet for the fund is very small. Right now it's around $4 million US only. But our financial report is audited on annual basis. And also we have clear investment policy that stipulate the process and procedure in how an investment decision is made. And there's no shortcut in our process. We follow the rule, and it's very, very clear even to the different stakeholders that they cannot manipulate the decision, especially in our investments. Fairness, so we focus on fairness. So we have code of conduct. We also ensure ethical and fair workplace practice. We have a grievance policy, and also we have kind of like again, focusing on the investment policies, we have clear process that should be followed, and then ensure that each investment decision is made fair and that all clients are treated fairly. Although we do have kind of like focus on MVU related, any alumni, any graduate from MVU would give kind of like special treatment, meaning that if there's a priority on investment that we need to make, then maybe MVU graduates would get that priority. But beside that, everything is clear. So they might be reviewed if they are if their business is good, but doesn't mean that because they are graduate, they would get a special treatment in terms of compliance to the policy or to the process. They would get the same treatment as other client or those the investment decision. If they are the same as other client, then they would be given priority. Stakeholder engagement. So we have both internal stakeholder and also external stakeholder. So for internal stakeholder, that include shareholder, director, the employees. So we have open communication among all of that. We don't have this kind of like traditional hierarchy, but for us, it's all open communication. Anyone can suggest anything, and then we would discuss and then come up with a solution, whether it works or not. And also all the people are involved into our regular process and policy review. We ask for feedback, we ask for suggestion, how they are doing, if this thing is actually working in their work, in their daily work, whether or not we should be changing anything or whether any improvement should be made to that. And then for external stakeholder, we have the regulator, we also have the clients, and regulator, we keep them updated on. So we send them the report on regular basis. That's including monthly report, quarterly report, semi-annual report, and also annual report. But then we also keep ourselves updated from all the change in regulatory environment, and especially in Cambodia for CIS, this is quite new. So there's a lot of change, there's a lot of development in terms of regulatory framework. So we need to we stay updated with them, we stay engaged, we talk to them very, very frequently, just to ensure that we stay up to date about the market and know what is coming next so that we can be prepared for that. Also for client, which refer to both the business that we invested in and also the investor whom we mobilize the fund from them. So we have a regular engagement. So our team, we have a dedicated person to be dealing with all the project client, meaning that the business that we invested in, making sure not just going to them and then assess or to prepare the due diligence when we need to do an investment, but also stay engaged on monthly basis, asking them how they are doing, asking them about their business, visiting their business, getting the report from them. So we know what is going on and we know whether or not we should be reinvesting or we should be kind of like paying attention. We should be paying attention to that kind of business. We also have a dedicated person to focusing on relation with the investor. So keeping them engaged, updating them what is happening in the business, what's going on, if there is any new investment opportunities coming in. Because this engagement, this personal relation is very, very key for us to grow our portfolio. From our past experience, this personal relation is actually the one that drive additional investment from our investor. Same for the client as well. In terms of technology and innovation, so we use a proper core fund management system. So actually our system is an adaptation from a core banking system. My background is from the financial sector, so I understand that quite well. And that's also the reason why we discussed it with our system vendor. And then we invested the money into this because we know this is the core for the business. So for our fund, the system would be able to do a lot of things automatically. So we automate the calculation of NAV. We also do the automation in terms of the revenue recognitions and also accrual in terms of both the dividend and also the return from the project that we are invested in. So we have all of that ability. And not yet for now, because this is still in the early stage, but going forward, we intended to use this system as a platform for communication with our investors as well. So investor would be able to monitor their portfolio investment through this system as well. But that would be in the phase 3 in our technology adaptation. Also, in terms of decision making, so we don't we use kind of like some of the data analysis too. So when we analyze the financial report, when we analyze the trend of the business, we use that actually it's a template built for us that can be used to assess how they are doing in terms of all the ratio, all the financial ratio that we are looking at. Because as a fund management company, when we decide to invest in any company, there's a certain ratio that we look at. A little bit different from one company to another, although they are very, very similar. So we look at the return on asset, we look at return on equity, we look at their margin, we look at their cost to fund, we also looking at their debt to equity ratio. Also, all of those ratios are very similar. So we have this template that are built that can generate all this information for us for the investment team, including the investment committee, to make the decision. Okay, ethical conduct. So we have fair recruitment policy. We have clear compensation and disciplinary policy. Again, the reason we focus on all of this is that comparing the size of the business that we have to the market and the team that we are quite way ahead in terms of all of this policy. Grievance policies is also in place, and also everyone have access to various structures. So, I mean, if they have any problem with myself as the CEO, they can just go directly to the board committee member, to the HR committee, or even to the chairperson. We have all of that very, very clear. And for now, it can also be said that because the team are quite small, so this kind of openness is very, very easy. But we intended to keep it that way even if the company is growing up in term of the employee size, and including the non-discrimination policies as well. Strategic partnership. So partnership is another key focus for us. It's kind of like one of the main pillars for our operations as well. So as I mentioned, in terms of capital market in Cambodia, even the IPO market itself is very, very, very new, very, very young. And especially for this collective investment scheme, it's very, very new to the market. We still need to learn from each other. We still need to support each other. So for that, we don't see other fund manager as our competitor, but rather we see them as a partner. We work alongside. And also because different fund management company have different mandates as well. So for example, for MVU Investment PLC, we invest in smaller scale ticket size. Our investment may range from, say, a few thousand $, but those we don't have. And normally it's more like 20-30,000, but we can go up to 200,000. But then there's also other funds management company who do not do the small scale ticket size. They would rather do $1 million and up. There are also some who do $2 or $3 million. But then also we have this fund management company that focus on key different sectors. For example, MVUI, we focus on agribusiness, we focus on education, healthcare, and also the financial sector. But then there's also other fund management company who focus on F&B, who focus on real estate, not real estate, hospitality, and so on. So we work alongside with this funds management company and try to see what we can support each other and also what we can collaborate with each other. For those funds who are licensed under SEOC as a local fund, we can also act as the fund distribution company for them. And also maybe if they have a license as a fund distribution company, they can do the same for us as well. So we try to work in this partnership to make sure that we can support each other to develop or to support the sector, the whole sector, not just for a specific company. Also, in terms of association, so we work alongside with different business association because one of our key area is to source for project, is to source for business for an investment. And the best way to do that is to work with all the business associations. So like myself, I'm very active in the YEAC, the Young Entrepreneur Association of Cambodia, and I'm leading one of their committee, which is Access to Equity Finance Committee. So the idea is to support the association, but also at the same time learning about the business, the member of the association, and then try to along the way understand about this business, whether or not we can make an investment into that business. Also, government body, like I mentioned, especially for this capital market, which is very new, there's still a lot of things going on. So we need to stay engaged with the regulatory, when we talk about the government body, it's not just the regulator itself, but it's about other because in Cambodia there's quite a number of entities who support business. Khmer Enterprise, for example, this is a government body and who put a lot of effort to support SME development. So working alongside with them would also give us an opportunity to know, to understand more about a different SME and also see their challenge, their potential, and then again would be able to help them, also to help us in terms of the business investment. And the other one, MVU Investment is actually initiated or is founded by a group of alumni. So it's graduate from Maharishi Vaidik University, which is called MVU. So we still have a strong connection with this alumni. We even have the rule to dedicate a percentage of our return of our profit by to the alumni. And we have always done that in the past years. Although our profit was quite small, we still allocate a small percentage to the alumni to be able to help other graduates as well if there is any need. And also majority of our investors in the book right now are actually coming from this alumni. So because of this strong connection, it's easier for us to get investment from them. Sustainability practice. So similar to everyone, so we focus on environment. Beside the kind of like the not more practical, the operational practice to reduce the carbon footprint, to focus on energy savings and all of that, we also kind of look at investment into the business that have this social impact. So when we look at business, we are not just looking at the commercial return, but we also looking at whether or not the business have any harm into the environment itself. And for that kind of business, we would not be investing in. For social impact, specifically, I mentioned a bit already, a percentage of our return go back to the alumni. And this is more kind of like for charity activity, including support to those in need. And then for any other charity activity that alumni see that they should be doing. And then the last one, the governance. So we focus on our decision making ethical and also transparent, which is in line with the different ESG principle. So to be fair, as right now, the business or the asset under our management is still small, and also the business that we are investing into are still very, very quite small. We don't put a lot of ESG requirement into that, but this is something that we will be looking at as well as we grow. For now, we only focus on very, very basic ESG, including the transparency, governance, including no harm into the environment and so on. Compliance and risk management. So this one is really, really key. So when we talk about the compliance and about risk management, we have our internal management report, which is the regular report providing information to all the different internal stakeholders for their on-time for their monitoring of the performance of the business, but also would be able to use to help them to make informed decision and also assess the risk of the business and also decide whether or not if there is any change in the strategy that need to be done, which is an example. I'll go by a little bit later. That the review of the policy that we have in place, it is also based on all the information that the management and the board of director get, so we can make decision and to change our process and our policy accordingly. And beside the internal reporting to the management, we also have external reporting to the regulator. So this is also key to ensure that the regulators stay updated, they know what we are doing, and also are able to provide report or support to us on time, and also discuss if there is any challenge that we have. I think right now in the capital market industry, and for us as the collective investment scheme industry, we might be the one who stay very, very close to the regulator. I can say we have kind of like almost we have meeting almost every month. Either it's formal, informal, just to discuss and just to understand what's going on between the private company as well as what is happening from the regulator, what to be expected as well. In terms of risk management as well, we also have this limitation on product and sector focus. So the product side, I did mention that our investment can be up to $200,000, but in our investment policy, we also state the investment as percentage of the company asset. So an example, if we are looking into invest into a company A and their asset is totally $1 million, we can only, okay, 1 million is too big, put it this way. So if their company is, say the asset is only $500,000, because we have the limitation of 20% of total asset only for our investment, then we won't be able to invest up to 200,000 as per our product limit set, but we can only invest up to 100,000 because the 20% limit is already there. We also have the limitation for the product in terms of the size to our fund itself, to our the fund that we are managing, just to ensure that we don't have concentration risk. And also for the sector, we have a specific focus. Although we don't say that the sector that we're not focusing, we would not be looking at investing. Except some sector that we identify to be a risky sector. An example is the real estate sector. It used to be our key focus sector back in 2000, before 2023. So it was our focus sector, but then later on it was removed from the sector, and not just removed that it is not a sector of focus, but it's also a sector that we would not be investing, given the change in the real estate environment in the country. So we keep looking at this sector focus on annual basis and decide whether or not a new sector should be added or should be removed from our priority sector. Just an example of what we are doing. Although right now we only have 4 priority sectors, but we see that our investment are actually spread it to many other sectors as well. It's also because of this change. So the sector focus or the investment keep changing depend on the development of the investment environment. Product and service. So I did mention about our products, but these products are adapted or are innovated regularly. So we have, I mentioned about the guarantee, the first guarantee return investment. So these products are reviewed and then modified just to adapt to the market. The project financing is also the same. The point is that we have the product included in our investment policy, but we keep reviewing. We do the annual review, and then we evaluate whether the product is still working, is still accepted in the market. It's still responding to the need of the investment, and also it still deliver what we want as an investor. And then we make adjustment as needed to those products, and then we would get the new product approved and then put into the policy, which means the implementation of that. So I mentioned a little bit already about the focus on the sector. So when we do this product, we look at the product itself. We also look at the sector focus. We changed our sector focus in 2023 in response to the change in the market environment. In terms of the product itself as well, project finance was one of our key focus in the past few years. But right now, project finance is not really a key focus, given the different risks associated with the product itself. But rather we're focusing more on equity because right now we need to balance in terms of our portfolio, since a lot of our investment are into the guarantee return product rather than equity. We still have very limited investment in equity, so our focus right now is on equity in terms of the product focus. Leadership and human resource management. So I mentioned we have open leadership staff. So all our people, all our stakeholder, including the director, including the board advisor, including the different committee, including the management and team, everyone are open. So these people can be approached at any time for discussion, and then also to share concern if there is any. So we don't have we don't follow this traditional hierarchical structure, or those, of course, everyone know who's they're reporting to and who need to review their work, but they can go to a senior level as long as they need. And this ensure that we can be quick in terms of our decision making, because everyone is engaged, everyone knows what's going on, and also it's also ensure that any problem that arises can be discussed and solved quickly. because there's no bottleneck in terms of going directly to a key decision maker. Open communications as well. So they can voice their opinion if the investment officer face any challenge during their investment process because of the policy. They can voice that out to the investment committee and then ultimately to the board, say this is not working because of this and that. Then we can look for a solution. Then we can discuss about alternate approach to doing things. So we can work on that very, very quickly. And to have with all of this open communication and open leadership style, what we do is we also have the open working space because even if we are open, even if the leader are there to respond, but if we don't have this way for them to assess, it's also very hard. So in our office layout, we don't have any room except a meeting room, but everyone would be sitting outdoors and they can engage to a different conversation. And also this really kind of contribute a lot to the willingness or to the openness of the people to share their idea because they feel connected. They feel there's no bottleneck for them. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. And it's also as a manager, for me, myself, I have been doing this, working with the open space, even with the financial sector, which is very unusual in the sector, because I feel connected, I feel integrated, and I know what is going on without really kind of like asking the question, which you may not be able to get the answer straightly. Okay, then talking about the Dharma principle. So we integrate this Dharma principle into our daily operation, into our working. So in terms of integrity, so we incorporate this integrity or what we call kind of like truthfulness or such as the term into our process. So our policy, our operation are very, very transparent. We build trust and we also ensure sustainability. We ensure ethical investment practice, and this is kind of like responding to the principle of integrity. Responsibility. So we prioritize vigorous. Sorry. In our operations, we balance profitability with also social impact. Like I mentioned, we don't invest into the business. I mean, I remember many years ago we were talking about potential investment into one of the online lending platform, but our investment committee, including director, decided to not doing that because for that one we were only kind of like driving profit only, the commercial return only, but they feel bad for the people involved. So we decide not to invest into that. So that, yes, in our operations process, in our decision making, we balance that as well, not just looking at the profit, but the social impact as well. If we cannot provide social impact, at least do not provide the harm, do not put the harm. The other one about harmony. So we balance, this is kind of like we balance relationship, like I mentioned, stakeholder, the internal stakeholder, the external stakeholder. This is very, very key for us. So right now, the key corporate social responsibility, the key one for us is about the contribution back to the alumni for their different activity, but also we kind of like we respect to all our stakeholders, even if they are client coming to us for support or they are investor. I mean, we treat them equally, we treat them fairly, and making sure that the relationship between them and the company stay positive. And non-attachment. So this one is about, in our case, it's all about the decision making, especially in our investment process. So we don't have any bias in our decision making, even if it is a director coming for an investment opportunity or a different client, they would go through the same process. We would go through the same analysis. There won't be any shortcut used just because they are a director, for example, or if they are related party. So again, we might prioritize our investment to specific sector, to specific group, but they still need to go through the same assessment process and procedure, including the approval process as well. Okay, so those are the model, but after seeing looking at the business, and also the business is still facing some challenge. So we do have some recommendation for the business. One of the challenge that the business is actually facing is about not only on investment. So Cambodia, in terms of financial education, they are getting a little bit better right now because there's a lot of stakeholder, including non-government institution, including financial institution. They've been doing a lot in terms of raising the financial knowledge about in the public. But when it comes to investment knowledge, it's still very limited. So a lot of people do not understand about the investment, and for that reason, either they make the wrong decision or just, they make rush decision in terms of investment, or just they don't make any investment decisions at all. So we still need to have to enhance this public knowledge, and this is something that we cannot just do alone. And this is again something that the stakeholder partnership is very important. So we need to work alongside with different stakeholder, including funds manager, including regulatory body, financial institution, and also different NGO, business association, to help raising this awareness, so that when people understand about this, they would be able to contribute more to the sector itself. And of course, when the investment knowledge is limited, the other challenge is about investment expertise. In Cambodia right now, the investment expertise that we have are generally from those who have been working with international fund management company, focusing on the big ticket side, and especially those who invest into the financial sector, because financial sector in Cambodia is the only sector who attract a lot of FDI, foreign direct foreign investment from different fund. I'm talking about fund, sorry. So into the country. So the only one who understand about this investment are those who used to work with the international company, and it's still limited in terms of number. So MVUI should be working again with all of these different stakeholders to develop more talent, to develop more people who can become experts in this investment market. And the other challenge that MVUI, the same as other funds manager facing right now in Cambodia, is about the scale of the fund. Right now, I mentioned that our asset under management is quite small right now, around close to $4 million only, and this is very, very small as a fund. And the reason for this is about the limitation. Well, one of the reasons is about the limitation of knowledge, which limit the investor to put investment into the sector itself. But it's also many other challenges as well. Of course, when we improve the knowledge in the public, this can go up. So the scale can get a little bit bigger, but we still need a lot of time for that. So for us at MVUI to be able to benefit from this economy of scale, we might have to look at international market to bring international investor into into this. So getting international investor to invest into the funds company in Cambodia, or to the fund that we are set up, so that we can use it to invest into the different SME. The other one, which is also related to this, when we have limited in terms of scale, that we are also limited in terms of liquidity. Again, this liquidity can be improved through the more public knowledge to investment knowledge to the public, but also if we open the investment to the international market. And this, to be fair, other funds management company are already doing. MVUI right now, we focus on mobilizing fund locally only, but there's also other peers who's not only, but mainly raising the fund from other international market like China, Korea, Taiwanese. So those markets, then they can bring more investment into the country. But this is also something that is still recommended to MVUI to be looking at as well. Expectation. So expected that MVUI continue to be a key player in the investment sector. So right now, this sector is quite new, is quite young. In terms of market share, in terms of that, it's still very, very hard to differentiate, to identify. But we are hoping that MVUI, we are expecting that MVUI continue to be a key player in this market. Then of course, as a key player, would be also expecting to contribute it to the public about the investment knowledge. So this can be done through session sharing, through discussion, meeting, a lot of things that can be done just to improve this public knowledge about investment. And of course, when we do that, then we will be contributing to the development of the capital market. Right now, the capital market, which is the key one for financial market in any country. So the country that to be able to grow in terms of business, in terms of SME, in terms of different things, it's accessing to this capital market is actually very, very key. So Cambodia, in terms of Cambodia, capital market is quite young and it's still very, very limited. So we are hoping to be able to contribute it to this market. And this can be done again, as long as people understand about this investment, then they trust the market, then they would be doing quite well. Right now, they trust the financial market, they trust the banking sector. The result that we can see is that a lot of deposit into the sector, which is even exceeding to grow in terms of lending out. So meaning that the people trust the financial sector. This is the result of a lot of hard work in the past many years, and we are hoping that we would be able to do the same for the investment market, for the capital market. Then we also expected MVUI grow their investment portfolio. Right now it's only a few million, so hope expecting to grow this to more way bigger, and then this would be key to contribute to the economic development, because the business that MVUI are investing are generally small SME, local SME, which means that the more investment that we have made, meaning that more business are also kind of like growing up to be able to access a different capital markets as well, so bigger ticket size from other funds managers as well. MVUI is expecting to be a bridge for this investment, for this company to be able to access a bigger ticket size fund. And the last one, since we were setting up from the graduate of MVU, we expect to continue to uphold these strong bonds among the MVU graduate, among the alumni. So getting them to stay close together and continue working on the different investment opportunity that might arise. And that is it for me. So if there is any question, I would welcome. And hopefully I did stay within the limit of time.